If you want to know how we ended up being chased by an elephant, then make sure you stay till the end of this video, because in this video I'm sharing my 7 funniest travel stories. Hi Lovebug, I'm Vivi. Welcome to Adventure Awaits. My channel is all about guiding you to a more adventurous life that you're truly in love with. And if this is the kind of life that you want to be living, then consider subscribing. So here are my 7 funniest travel stories. Number 1, entering the US. As usual, they're making a big drama out of it. They're actually looking at each and every stamp of my passport. So the lady literally went through each and every page asking me about every single stamp in my passport. And there were just a few stamps that I didn't even know where they were from. Because you know, the passport, when you travel a lot, there's like hundreds of them in there, and some of them you can't really read. So I was like, I don't know. And she just stares at me like, how would you not know? You've been there. And I'm like, yeah, I've been there, but I mean, I can just read as much as you can read. I can just guess. So she started asking me for like 15 minutes. The line behind me was ginormous. And then she started talking about all the Arab countries and how bad they are and why anyone would ever go there. Story number 2, getting lost in Joburg. Joburg, if you've ever been to Johannesburg in South Africa, it is not the safest place in the world. And I was staying with my friend, so I took this bus, having no idea where it was going. It just said Joburg, so I figured, well, it's gonna leave me in the center and I'll figure it out. Well, it did leave me somewhere in the center. But I didn't know that the center isn't... Oh, hello, little birdie. Say hello to the camera. The center wasn't the kind of center that I expected and the places that I knew from before. It was literally just locals in a local market. I was the only white person. I was the tallest person there, and everyone stared at me, and I was like, oh shit, this is literally not a very safe place for me to be right now. And obviously everyone was staring at me, and I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? I kept walking, and I finally found a train station. And I kind of knew where my friend was living, so I was like, cool, the only thing I can do right now is get the train and drive back. So I took the train. What I didn't know, there are 2 different trains. I actually wondered why the train was so cheap. And the lady that was sitting next to me told me, like, what are you doing here? Like, where are you going? So I told her, and she's like, you know, this is not the safest place for you to be. And I was like, why? Like, I literally felt really, really safe in this place. I was the only white person in there, but I felt really good in this place. Like, nothing dangerous, nothing weird. And it started getting dark, and in this train, they didn't announce the places where they stop. So the lady was like, do you know where you have to get off? Do you know how to get home? I'm like trying to describe her kind of where my friend is staying, so she's advising me where to stop. Now 5 people around there trying to help me to find the right stop. It was freaking dark. I didn't have any SIM card or any way of communication. 3 people were like now helping me to find the place where I had to get off, trying to like squeeze to the really, really full train, trying to tell me where to get off. I get off and it's pitch black. I have no idea where I am. I just know it's kind of close to my friend's place, but I also know I cannot walk because it's too far for walking. The only possibility for me is now to find a place with Wi-Fi, contact my friend, and hope he's gonna come pick me up. Because I cannot find a taxi, there's like literally nothing around. There's 1 bar that looks pretty sketchy and 1 car. So what am I gonna do? Well, I go talk to the guy in the car and literally ask him, hey, can I use your cell phone? He's like, well, where are you going? And so I started telling him. I wasn't really sure if I should trust him or not, but at that point I figured that was my only option. So he was like, okay, if you tell me where your friend lives, I'll drop you off. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I kind of know where I have to go. I know 1 like landmark, and from there I know how to get there. So he's like, jump in the car and I'll drop you off. And I'm just like, should I say yes or should I say no? I know it's pretty much my only option right now, so I say yes. He drives a big detour, stops at 2 other places. So we get to the mall that I finally know how to get back. I dropped myself off literally because now I'm driving. And he just says, cool, have a good day. And I'm like, I was so thankful that he actually took the time to drop me off. And it was a very big adventure for me. and for him. I tell my friend the story, who was by the time having a barbecue with his friend because he literally had no idea how to reach me, where I was, if I was still alive, or what was going on. I tell the guys the story, literally laughing myself off, and they just stare at me like, girl, you're freaking crazy because this was freaking dangerous. I'm like, yeah, you know, like, what would you have me do? That was my only option. Next story happened in Tanzania. I was staying with a local family, and after dinner, the lady went to warm up some water. She didn't speak any English, just her husband did. So he told me now it was time for me to go and use the bathroom and get ready for bed. So I entered in the bathroom, which literally was an empty concrete room with one hole in the floor and a bucket of warm water. So I'm standing there with all my stuff, my clothes, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? What am I doing with this bucket of water? I mean, I know I'm supposed to wash myself, but I don't know how. I don't know where to put my stuff because there's literally no space. And I'm just trying to like figure out what to do and how to deal with the situation. About 10 minutes later, the guy knocks on the door and is like, are you okay? Do you need any help? In that moment, I felt so ashamed of being a Westerner and not knowing how to wash myself with a bucket of water in an empty room. I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Just give me a few minutes. I'll be right back. And I felt so bad. I literally didn't know what to do. I mean, I figured it out having all the stuff in one hand and trying to like splash water over me with the other hand, but it was literally such a weird situation. Next funny moment happened with my friend Carlos in Indonesia. As Carlos is from Mexico, he kind of looks like the local people, and everyone actually thought he's Balinese. So what we started doing was putting him in the parking lots, and he started asking for parking money to all the tourists that were coming. And obviously it was a joke, so we didn't actually charge them, but so many people were actually getting out their wallet and handing over cash. And just then we told them like, no, we're just joking, this is not real. But it's actually such an easy way to make money. So if you ever run out of money in a country, just start charging for parking. It works most of the time. Funny moment number 5 happened in South Africa. In Cape Town, there was so much traffic, and on Google Maps I saw that there was another route kind of shortcutting that was really empty, and I wondered why nobody took this street. Oh, hello, little birdie. So I was just like, let's just go for it and see where it takes us. And we ended up driving through this like company and like weird kind of places that I literally had no idea where we were. They were like abandoned and dirty and scary. Hey, are you eating my hair? I'm not very in favor of that. All right. And some guy stopped us and was like, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. We're like, oh, well, I guess we just got lost. We're trying to get back to the city. And he's like, okay, just keep driving. You'll eventually find your way out. As we're getting to the exit, there's a control police kind of checkpoint. And they check our whole car, the trunk, under the car, everything. They ask us like a million of questions, what we were doing here, why we're coming this way, and like what's going on. They really didn't understand the situation, but we ended up at least saving half an hour, so it was totally worth it, and it was very funny. Funny story number 6 was when my Spanish family came visiting me, and we flew from Mexico City to Cancun. And at the Cancun airport, it took a while till they delivered the luggage. So what I did, as we had the 2 kids, which were now I think 11 and 14, something around this age, I put them on these carts that you have in the airport for luggage, and we started running around the whole airport like it was an amusement park. The kids were having so much fun until a guardian came and was like, you guys are not supposed to play with the carts. This is dangerous. We're like, yeah, we're okay. And the parents were just standing there like, We don't know these people. We don't know what's going on there. But it was literally a very, very funny experience. So we kept doing it for a while till they actually made an announcement and said the carts are only for luggage and no humans are supposed to be sitting on them. So then eventually, as we got our luggage, we left the airport. And now, number 7, the chasing elephant story. Oh my god, most of these stories are about Africa. I wonder why. So, we were visiting Kruger National Park. We were so excited that we really wanted to make the most out of it. So, at the end of the day, we took another detour just to like increase our possibilities to see another wild dog or maybe a leopard or some kind of animal that is more like active during nighttime or evening time. What you have to know is that Kruger National Park, or most national parks, close around 6 p.m. So you have to be out at the park by that time. Otherwise they charge you a really big fine. And we're starting to run low on gas, but I'm like, yeah, we'll be fine. I calculated the kilometers and the gas, and I was like, yeah, we'll be fine. What I didn't consider was that the gravel road was really, really bad conditions, and also you're only allowed to drive around 40, I think, 40 kilometers an hour. Oh, we're driving kind of slowly. I'm like, oh shit. Now the gas blinking lamp warning sign comes on. I'm like, oh shit. We still have like 70 kilometers to drive. We have about an hour. We're only allowed to drive 30 kilometers an hour. Like, suddenly, like, this whole thing didn't work out anymore. So I'm trying to drive a little bit faster without speeding, because obviously if an animal runs out of the bush, I do not want to hit it, right? And as I'm driving, suddenly a big elephant family starts crossing the street like 5 meters in front of us, and I'm like, shit, what are we gonna do? The whole time before this, we were always so excited having elephants really close and seeing like the kids playing like right in front of our car. It was always so much fun. But at that time, we really didn't have time for these kind of things. So I tried moving closer and closer to them, trying to show them like, come on guys, hurry up, we do not have all the time of the world as you guys do. We need to leave your home. So as I was getting closer and closer, and they were crossing, probably like 15 elephants were crossing with like a few babies, the mother started getting nervous. When almost all of them had crossed, I started driving kind of around them to like speed up the process and really go by faster. And the mom started getting so angry and nervous that she started chasing us. And all I did was like push the gas and just drive. And we actually made it to the exit just a minute before 6. Just a minute before they were closing. We were so happy. We made it to the gas station and everything worked out very well, as I actually believe that everything always works out, and it always does. So I don't really worry too much. But yeah, if I travel with people, then they do get kind of worried about our adventures and how we handle things sometimes. But this is life. These create the adventures. These create the cool travel stories. If you want to start living a more adventurous life and having more stories to tell, then I have a free training down below in the description box. Have you watched my training yet? Yes, he has. It's all about how to live a life you will remember. It's linked down in the description below. Make sure you check it out. It's a very good one. And if you like this video, consider sharing it with anyone who could benefit from it. Consider subscribing to my channel if you did like it. And don't forget to watch the other videos of this series. I hope you have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for watching, and I see you in my next video.